Welcome to the lesson on delete, insert, clear, and entry on the graphing calculator. Let's start with 10 multiplied by negative 2, which is already on the screen as negative 20. Suppose that you mistyped it and decided that no, I meant to type in 10 times 2. The way to correct your error is to use the delete or insert button. We also are going to use the entry button. I'm going to scroll up using the arrow key. When I scroll up, notice how negative 20, the answer, is highlighted. If I scroll up again, the previous whatever I typed in is highlighted, and it will continue. You can continue to scroll up through your previous entries. So I want to use the 10 multiplied by negative 2 to grab that on the graphing calculator. You press enter. You highlight it, then you press enter, and it will make it appear. Now I'm going to scroll backwards or use the left arrow key and go backwards to the negative symbol because that's the symbol I did not want. So just like a computer, to delete the symbol, I'm going to put the cursor on whatever entry part of my expression that I want to delete, and then I'm going to press the DEL button, which means delete. It is just to the left of where we currently are. Once I press that delete button, you will now see that now my expression says 10 times 2, and I'm just going to press enter, and that's what I wanted it to be, which was 20. Okay, now I want to insert. Well, I really wanted to type in 10 times, parentheses, 2 plus sine 60. But I'm going to use my previous entry. So I'm going to scroll back up and choose the 10 times 2. And then to choose it, remember, I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to press enter. And now I'm going to scroll backwards to the point where I want to insert something. So I really wanted to continue after the 2 inside the parentheses. So I've highlighted the parentheses. And now to insert a character or more than one character, I'm going to press the second, which is the blue button, and then the delete button. That's actually the opposite of delete. When I press second, it's going to be the insert button. And now I'm going to type in plus sine. So I press the SIN button. Then I type in the 60. So 60. I'm going to close my parentheses for the 60. Then I'm going to close my parentheses again for, actually, that I don't have to close it because it's already there. See how it's blinking? Closing the parentheses for the 2 plus sine 60. Now I'm going to press enter. And there's my answer. Now, suppose I don't want all this on my screen. I want to clear out my screen, or maybe I just want to clear out the previous entry. I'm going to press clear one time, and it's going to clear my screen. Say I want to type in the quadratic formula. And I'm going to use this big expression for a quadratic equation. So I'm going to plug in a fraction. Press the fraction shortcut button, which is the alpha and the y equals. And I'm going to type in this long expression. So just follow with me. This is just the quadratic formula. Negative 3. So negative and then a 3 and then a plus. The square root of. So I go to second and the x squared button. 3 squared, so 3, and I'm going to raise it to the second power, so I press the x squared button, so that's the shortcut for squared, minus 4 times 2 times negative 1, so 4 minus 4, parentheses, 2, close the parentheses, then open up another parentheses, negative 1, so I'm going to type the negative button, 1. I'm going to close my parentheses, then I'm going to scroll to the right to get out from underneath the radical, and I'm going to scroll down to get to the bottom of my fraction, 2 times 2. Now this you should recognize as a quadratic formula. I've taken a quadratic equation. I'm going to close the parentheses. I'm going to scroll to the right. Now there is my quadratic formula. It's going to give me an answer. I'm not sure what the answer is, some decimal version. Well, as you know, the quadratic formula also has a subtraction symbol, negative 3 minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 1 all over 2 times 2. Instead of having to retype the entire equation, it's so much simpler if you will scroll up and grab that entire equation. So I'm going to highlight the part that I typed out, this big long fraction, press enter. And now I'm going to scroll backwards over that plus sign and change it to a minus sign. So I'm just using my left arrow key, and I can actually use the up key and then the left arrow key. I'm just trying to get to the spot where that plus sign is. It takes a few clicks to get over there, slowly but surely. Make sure I don't go past it. More. There we go. Okay, so I've highlighted the plus sign. I don't actually have to delete it. Just like on the computer, I can just type right over that symbol, the plus sign, to change it to the minus sign. So instead of deleting it, I'm just going to type over it. Once it's highlighted, I'm going to type in a minus sign. Now you notice nothing else from the equation changed. I'm going to scroll. I can scroll all the way to the end, or I can simply press Enter, and it will read that equation, and now there's the other answer to my quadratic equation. That concludes our lesson on delete, insert, clear, and entry.